Here is everything you need to know about the New York Knicks before the opener against the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow night. There's a lot of news, a lot of storylines after the preseason wrapped up, from an injury potentially to Mitchell Robinson, or is it just load management? Tom Thibodeau hanging out with the ops. Maybe the Knicks have a potential gem on their hands coming in off the bench. And we got all the latest news right here in this video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, folks. Subscribe if you're new to Knicks Media. We are excited here to create Knicks content all throughout the season. We just hit 16,000 subscribers on the channel this week, and we're excited to keep the momentum going for a magical Knicks season. So don't forget to hit those buttons. Let's get straight into business. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the Mitchell Robinson situation. Is he going to be playing tomorrow night? Is this just one of those things where it's gamemanship, where Mike Brown doesn't want the Cavaliers to know if Mitch is playing or not? Because the situation is simply as this. Mitchell Robinson has been out of practice and the last preseason games due to load management, and his status for the opener is up in the air. Now, first of all, let me start off with this. I like that the Knicks are managing Mitchell Robinson this way, because we all understand the most important element of Mitchell Robinson's game is availability, more specifically in the postseason. There's a long 82-game stretch coming up here, and we need Mitch healthy throughout the entire season, not missing any games, not having to worry about rehab, so he is in full shape for the playoffs. But my only thing is, why is this starting now before the first game? I don't know if this is something that Mike Brown is hiding an injury and the Knicks staff just don't want Mitchell Robinson to be out there knowing that he is dealing with some type of issue. That's just me purely speculating. Or is this just Mike Brown just saying, hey, bro, this is what we're doing? In the press conference, he said, like, this is not new to me. I've been in the NBA since the early 2000s, and when we had veterans, we always did this. This is load management, and it's different for us Knicks fans, right? We're not used to this, right? We're coming from Tom Thibodeau, who was the opposite of ever managing somebody's workload. They wanted to go out there and play basketball. That was Tom Thibodeau's philosophy. That's not the case here for Mike Brown. He's going in with a different approach, but I do feel like it's a little sketchy and a little weird that it's happening in the preseason and it's happening potentially before the first game of the season. Because, all right, if Mitch plays the first game, plays the second, but he takes off the third game, okay, I get it. But not playing in the opener against the Cavaliers, that's a little head scratcher for me. We'll wait to see if that's actually going to be the case here. But Mike Brown is pretty much, open about it in the press conference, saying it's load management. He's not disclosing any other information. And again, this could just be something that they're trying to not let the Cavaliers know he's playing, or it's just simply they don't want him to play because he wants to be rested. I don't know. A really interesting situation. Please let me know your guys' thoughts about this, about the whole load management with Mitchell Robinson. I think that is really interesting. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is a player that the New York Knicks fan base is excited about, and so am I, which is Trey Jemison III, who looked really good in the final preseason game. And this is a Knicks big, and the reason why I wanted to talk about him is because the Mitchell Robinson load management, you need some depth off the bench for the big man position, and he looked really good in the final preseason game with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a block shot, a plus 20 in 26 minutes. That block was emphatic. And, this is a young guy that's, a two-way player for the New York Knicks. And if Mitchell Robinson is going to be out for a lot of these games, will the Knicks go to Trey Jemison III? You look at Karl-Anthony Towns and Ariel Hukporti as the two guys, of course, to fill in for Mitch when he's down. But I think a guy like Trey Jemison showed enough promise in the preseason for the New York Knicks where I have confidence in if he can go out there and play, 10, 14 minutes in a game if Mr. Robinson's not out there playing in that specific game. So I like the bench for the New York Knicks, specifically at the big man position. I think Trey Jemison was somebody that was impressive in training camp and in the preseason for the New York Knicks. Were you guys impressed with Trey Jemison III as well? I feel like that was somebody that kind of came out of nowhere, an underrated addition for the Knicks in the summer. When you get guys like that, you don't really evaluate them too much because they're young and you don't really know too much about them. He was with the Lakers, but then he put on the Knicks uniform and he kind of embodied what it means to be a Knick right away. And I was like, okay, I think the Knicks got something here. We know the Knicks are really good at finding those gems, and maybe he could be one of those gems. Speaking of a young player, Mohamed Diawara is officially a Knick. He signed his rookie contract, and he's ready to go. He is another player I'm really intrigued about, man. He looks like a different version of a Pascal Siakam. Not saying he's going to live up to the all-star version of Siakam, but I love the length. I love the size. I love his ability to run the floor. I think that this is a guy that really could be somebody to watch develop off the bench for these New York Knicks. Some people are already saying he has more upside than Bacom Daddier. I don't really need to pin them two against each other, but I do like the idea of Mohamed Diawara developing and becoming a guy off the bench for this New York Knicks team. I don't know if he's going to get meaningful minutes right out of the bat. I honestly don't know what to expect with the minutes from Mike Brown. We saw in the preseason, but I don't really know how deep the rotation is going to go, and I'm excited to see it in the regular season. We have an idea of the preseason minutes, but the regular season is a different animal, and I really do think that Mike Brown is going to go deep. That's my at least prediction, is he's going to use a lot of these guys off the bench. He wants to keep everybody's legs fresh, and it's just an opposite philosophy from Tom Thibodeau. And speaking of Thibs, the guy was hanging out with the ops, and I have to talk about this because this was definitely something where a lot of Knicks fans were like, what's Tom Thibodeau doing? So if you guys missed it, Thibodeau was at the Boston Celtics practice. He was at the Celtics practice, and he wasn't just there hanging out, just watching. He broke down the film to Jaylen Brown and all the Boston Celtics people of how the Knicks were able to exploit their weaknesses in the playoffs last year and beat them. I mean, listen, Thibodeau got fired by the Knicks. He's also still getting paid by Dolan, by the way, and he's not an official employee, so it's not like Dolan can do anything about it, and Thibs is probably not worried, but it's funny how the Knicks are still paying Tom Thibodeau, and he's out there in Boston hanging out with the ops, telling them exactly how they were able to do it. So Jaylen said this after practice that Thibodeau was there. He said, quote, obviously they eliminated us last year, so him being able to give us some of the thoughts that he saw in that series, some of the things that they broke down, help us grow and learn from that. It stung losing. I mean, that's crazy stuff right there, that Jaylen Brown is, saying that Tom Thibodeau is breaking down exactly how they were able to exploit their weaknesses. Really intriguing stuff. I mean, when I say intriguing, just kind of shocking. But hey, not a really big deal. I'm not now concerned that the Celtics are going to, learn everything because, again, we have a brand new coach with Mike Brown. They're going to be having a completely different philosophy. They're going to have a different, energy towards the Boston Celtics. So it's not that big of a deal, but I just find it funny. And, shout out to Thibs. He's going out there. He's trying to, stay around basketball. He wants to get a new job eventually. So, hey, not the biggest of deals, but definitely something that I was a little shocked about. And then the last thing I want to talk about is Karl Anthony Towns. He was talking to the media, and they asked him, what is his role going to be with Mike Brown? And he simply was saying, honestly, I don't know, but we're figuring it out. So I feel like, first of all, you can't read too much into press conferences. Cat saying, I don't know what my role is going to be in the offense yet. He says, but we're figuring it out. So I'm not going to read too much into this, but a lot of people are running away with this in the NBA media, and they're kind of saying, what does this even mean? Why does Cat not know his role? Did they not go out there in the preseason and practice and training camp? But I feel like it's going to be a work in progress, and I think that's why I wanted to end the video off with this. I really do believe this Knicks basketball team, from an offensive perspective, it's going to get better as the season progresses. I don't expect this offense to be top 5 in pace, top 5 in assists, and efficiency and rating right out of the jump. I think it's going to be a work in progress. These Knicks players are all buying into a brand new system, brand new type of offense under Mike Brown. So it's going to be a work in progress, and you guys let me know what you expect from Karl Anthony Towns in this offense, because obviously he doesn't know, but I also think he does know. He just doesn't really want to explain it to the media because, again, why would he want to tell the world what his role is going to be in the offense so the Cavaliers and the Celtics can plan for him this week at Madison Square Garden? I'm excited to be there at MSG on Wednesday night. Make sure you guys check out Sleeper for being the proud sponsor of Knicks Media. We got awesome bets on the way, and I'm excited to preview all of my player prop bets that you guys can tell me over there on Sleeper. Don't forget to use the code Knicks, and you will get a $20 for free. immediately when you sign up. And using the code Knicks will also give you a 100% deposit match up to $100. Huge shout out to Sleeper. They're the proud sponsor of Knicks Media all throughout the season. Don't forget to hit the like button, folks. Comment down below your thoughts. Knicks basketball is here, baby. We are one day away. And let me know if you're going to be at MSG. I would love to see you guys at the Garden for the Knicks opener. I'm fired up. You should be fired up. Let's go, Knicks. And I'll see you next time. That's the latest Knicks report right here on Knicks Media.